Welcome back to Bazaar Morning Call. Plenty of stocks to talk about, so without wasting any time, let's get straight to it. The first stock on our radar this morning is Reliance Industries, and we're going with green on that because the board of Reliance Retail has now approved a reduction in the equity share capital of Reliance Retail, and the consideration has come in at 1,362 rupees a share, which is positive for Reliance. And of course, we're going with green on the stock. Most brokerages, as per Bloomberg's estimates, had a level ascribed a value of anywhere between 900 to 1,000 rupees a share in their SOTP, and the list will come up for you on your screen. So this is, of course, positive. Now, UBS put out a report where they said that this sets a floor price to future value unlocking for the business. It should bring a lot of confidence to the retail business value in the SOTP. A consideration of 1,362 rupees a share is a 54 to 60% premium to the valuations obtained from two independent registered valuers. So this is, of course, a big positive. Apart from RRVL, which is Reliance Retail Ventures, also owns other businesses like Reliance Brands, Just Dial, Reliance Consumers, implying an even higher value for RRVL. Now, this values RRVL at $110 billion, and Reliance's 85% stake in RRVL is valued at $93 billion. So, in essence, this is positive for Reliance and gives more value unlocking, especially for the retail business.
Okay, all right. So we'll keep an eye on Reliance Industries. Sonal joins us to tell us about IOC. Morning, Sonal.
Good morning, Nigel. Well, IOCL will be in focus because the board has approved fundraise via rights issue up to 22,000 crore rupees, and they did indicate earlier that it will again be for energy transition. However, analysts are of the view that no need for fresh fundraise is required, as the company has enough cash flows and has a strong balance sheet as well. But the company has made other announcements as well. They have approved formation of JV for battery swapping business in India. It is a 50-50 joint venture with Sun Mobility Singapore, and this is where the company will be investing around 1,800 crore rupees till financial year 2026-2027. Additionally, the company has also approved investment of 640 crore rupees in IOCL Singapore, and this is for acquisition of preference shares and warrants of Sun Mobility. So, of course, this money could be used in this way in energy transition, and of course we'll be watching out for any fund infusion coming in from the government as well.
Thank you very much for that. Sonia, M&M?
I'm going with green on M&M. Of course, all of these auto stocks have been doing very well, but reports suggest that the company is in talks to raise up to 5,000 crores for its electric vehicle unit, and this is from British International. And if this deal goes through, then it will be the second investment that British International makes in the M&M EV business. Now, the deal valuation is likely to be about 10 to 15% more than the previous round of funding that they got. And the previous round of funding had valued the EV subsidiary at 70,000 crores, which is about $9.1 billion. So if this comes through, of course, it is a big positive for M&M. Now, M&M put out a clarification on the exchanges where they said that they have not appointed a banker just yet to commence fundraising, but the EV business continues to attract a lot of attention from investors. So maybe something is brewing. Time will tell, but for now we're going with green. The company continues their discussions with a select set of marquee investors, but the amount that has been indicated in news reports is purely speculative. But, there's no smoke without fire, as they say. So I'm going with green over there.
Okay, all right. So that's what Mahindra and Mahindra. I'm tracking the Vedanta Group stocks. Hindustan Zinc first. They had a meeting for interim dividend over the weekend, and they declared a dividend of close to around 7 rupees. The total payout would be 2,950 crore rupees, and the record date has been fixed as July 15th. Now, how much does each entity get? Well, Vedanta Limited, since Hindustan Zinc is declaring the dividend, they'll get bulk of that, 1,920 crores odd, which in turn they normally do pass it through to its shareholders. So we'll be waiting for a dividend announcement from Vedanta Limited as well. The government of India, they'll get close to 874 crores odd. Remember, the stock has already run up close to 10% post the announcement that they're going to be considering a dividend. So how much of the good news is already in the price? We're going with the light green out here. The shareholding pattern between the government of India, between Vedanta Limited as well as LIC, close to around 97-98% is between these three entities. So very limited float in the market, but light green out there. Next up, we go to Vedanta Limited itself. Now, they have added the semiconductors as well as the display glass ventures to its portfolio. Remember, in the past, they've said that it will not be in the listed entities portfolio, but now they've got it. Both these two entities, they are held by the promoter entity, that's Twin Star Technologies Limited. And in 2022, the management had clarified that no, we're not going to be bringing this under the listed entity. But now they've done a bit of a U-turn in that front. The reason that they've given is there's tremendous growth potential for both these two industries, semiconductor as well as display panel. And India, as of now, we import almost the entire requirement in both these two categories. They've said by the second quarter of FY24, they're expecting this to get done. Now, the total investment that they've indicated in the past is close to 1.5 lakh crore rupees. So it's a large investment in that JV that they have with Foxconn, and Vedanta had close to 60% stake. So the reason that we're going with red out here is because it's a related party transaction, point number one. Second factor, it could demand very, very high capex because it's a capex-intensive industry. And finally, it could impact the dividend payout, which has been the juiciest part for Vedanta Limited shareholders. That's about the Vedanta Group stocks. Going to Ekta, though, to tell us about Pharma. Ekta?
Thanks for that. Well, I expect Aurobindo to probably be in the green today. That's because Curatech Biologics, which is an arm of the company, has entered into an exclusive licensing agreement with a US company, Biofactura. So this is to basically commercialize a proposed biosimilar, which is Stelara or ustekinumab. Now, this biosimilar is used for multiple things such as Crohn's disease, ulcerative colitis, plaque psoriasis, arthritis. Global sales are expected to be $9.7 billion, so it's a huge market size for this particular biosimilar. Curatech, which is Aurobindo's arm, will be commercializing the biosimilar on an exclusive license right basis. This is in various countries such as US, EU, UK, Canada, other semi-regulated markets as well as emerging markets. They have given details of their share also in the press release. So Biofactura will be receiving a licensing fee not exceeding $33.5 million. There will be a profit share depending on the market that they're operating in as well. And Curatech will also have global manufacturing rights. So overall, it seems as though Aurobindo is making its foray into the biosimilar space. This particular biosimilar, if it does commercialize and reach the market, then it could be a big opportunity for Curatech and overall for Aurobindo as they are looking at more high margin lucrative products. So I expect the stock to be in the green.
Okay, all right, Ekta. Thanks a lot for that. Well, I'm tracking two stocks. That's Prism as well as Ramco. Now, Prism Johnson, they have approved the sale and the transfer of a couple of assets to Ramco Cements. One is the sale of a land parcel, which is around 1,420 acres. And the second one is a mining lease, which amounts to around 663 hectares. Both these two assets will be transferred to Ramco Cement, and they're saying that it would be transferred by July 31st, 2023. It's a win-win for both entities, though we don't know the quantum that they're going to be getting from Ramco Cements. For Prism, well, they could reduce their net debt, which was last at around 1,150 crore rupees as of March 2023. They could also use that for their expansion plans, if any. So that's positive for Prism. And for Ramco, well, they're getting limestone reserves as well as land. If they want to expand out there, then they're moving in the right direction. So going with green for both of them.
Okay, so lots in the cement space as well that we're tracking this morning. But there are plenty of other stocks that Vivek has on his list. Vivek, hi, good morning. What are you looking at today?
Well, good morning. A couple of stocks on my radar. First, keep an eye out for the IRB twins. IRB Infra has gone ahead and given its operational toll update both for the month of June and for Q1. And it's a very good, steady set of numbers. So Joule tone revenues is up almost 16.5%, coming in over 380 crore. And when you talk about the Q1 toll revenues, it's very good, around 18% higher on a year-on-year basis, coming in over 1,180 crore. Now, what the company is saying is that, and this is something that's quite positive, they're expecting a similar momentum for the rest of FY24 as well. Now, coming to another company, Max Ventures. Now, some corporate action happening over here, largely along expected lines. So the company says that the Chandigarh bench has approved the merger of Max Ventures into Max Estates, which is the real estate arm of the group. Now, Max Estates will fully focus solely as far as the real estate business is concerned, largely along expected lines. The company had indicated in an interview to us as well that towards the end of June as well as July, this particular corporate action will be done. Along with that, Max Estates has also gone ahead and given its Q1 quarterly update. So 1,800 crore of pre-sales is what the company has done in its luxury project. And again, some positive news as far as Max Ventures is concerned.
Okay, well, thanks a lot for that, Vivek. Here's a quick recap then of our top stocks that we're looking at. Stocks with positive news flow today. There's Reliance Industries, IOC, M&M, Hindustan Zinc, Aurobindo Pharma, Prism Johnson, Ramco Cements, IRB Infra and Max Ventures, while the only stock with negative news flow today is Vedanta. But in case you're wondering about all the brokerages that that have come out with their reports and what they're saying, Rima has put the focus on that. Rima, over to you.
Let me start with Tata Motors. So Tata Motors on Friday, just about 30 minutes before they closed for trade, announced that in the month of June, JLR posted a 30% jump in the wholesale volumes and that they're on track to generate a free cash flow of 400 million euros. The street liked the development, and as you can see, the stock in the last 30 minutes surged to close with a gain of about 3%. CLSA has written on this development. They believe the path to the company's higher volume, margins and FCF remains clear. FCF is free cash flow, which is why they have a buy rating and a target price of 690. Morgan Stanley has downgraded Titan. They've downgraded it to an equal weight. They've set the target price at 3,207. They believe the risk-reward is balanced. And following the strong performance that we have seen, there are no wedding dates in Q4 due to Adhik Maas. There are fewer wedding dates in Q3, so that makes them a bit cautious. So their target price is at just about a 50 rupee premium to where the stock currently is, equal weight rating. On the other hand, Kalyan also reported their quarterly update last week, and it was very solid, about a 30-35% jump in their overall sales. According to Citi, the growth journey for Kalyan has just begun. On margins, the company has said that the gross margin at the showroom level has improved on a year-on-year basis. The reason it's declined on an absolute basis, on a year-on-year basis, is because of a higher contribution from the franchisee store. The store expansion momentum continues to remain intact. They added about 12 new Kalyan showrooms in Q1, and the management expects 20 more showrooms to be added across non-South before Diwali. And finally, United Spirits Limited. If you remember on Friday, Karnataka state government in the budget announced that the taxation, the excise duty on beer would go up, and even on IMFL. So Macquarie has written on that. They have an underperformed rating on USL. They believe the Karnataka tax hike will weigh on growth. Brands will look to revisit the pricing on their brand to offset the hit at the consumer level, and therefore they are a bit circumspect on United Spirits. Target price is all the way down to 700 rupees, and the stock on Friday had closed at 914. So that sums up the brokerage action for the day. We'll get into a break. On the other side, we'll invite Prakash Diwan to discuss some fundamental stock analysis. We'll also be joined by Vivek Parthiban, COO at Kaplan Point, to discuss the business outlook and the US FDA note for an injection they recently received.